Yo, what is up, everybody? Jesse, I think there's mute your mic. Sorry, little technical difficulty there, but what is up, everybody? Hope everybody's having a fucking amazing day. Happy Friday. Usually I do these streams with my boy for Loco and a few of the other homies, but today it is just me. I hope everybody's having an amazing day. Like I said, last time we were on here, we were talking about Pump, Bitcoin, a lot of great stuff. Bitcoin obviously pulling it back a bit today. Pump just absolutely fucking getting demolished the past few days. Not really, it's down 30%. We'll be talking about that. Talking about NFTs. We'll be talking about the crypto bills that just passed recently. But today's stream pretty much just gonna be hanging out, looking about the few things that have been happening in crypto the past few days, and where I think Bitcoin is going from here, and why I think we're about to enter probably the craziest alt season, normie hype cycle, whatever the fuck you want to call it, that crypto has ever seen. It's been a insane 3 or 4 months. I put out this tweet yesterday. Sorry, hold on. That ETH is fucking ripping. I remember we were doing these streams 6 months ago with some of you guys might remember Max, who is a TradFi vet, has been through a ton of these crises before. And if you remember just 3 months ago, everybody was saying ETH is fucked, right? Like ETH is never going to hit 4,800 again. It's MySpace, it's AOL. But, there was so many great things happening in the background, even 4 or 5 months ago with the regulatory clarity. These bills that were now just getting passed yesterday were being talked about. How institutions were buying, countries were buying, the U.S. government talking about how they're trying to find a way to buy Bitcoin without costing taxpayers. All these amazing things. So for me, it was just an obvious time to accumulate and put a bunch of my stables, like 50% of my stables, at that point into ETH. And look where we're at now. I mean, it's just, besides ETH going up, I think it's crazy to know how fast crypto Twitter sentiment can just shift, right? From, like I said, 4 or 5 months ago, everybody was saying ETH. Not only is ETH not going to, it's old, the blockchain's never going to be used, but it was never going to go to all-time highs again. And I mean, look at it now. It's obviously not at all-time highs yet, but about 50% off all-time highs. And I think it's going to smash it here probably this summer. And it could happen pretty quickly. So, yeah, it's crazy to see. I mean, just like I said in this tweet, I think it's just important that if you're new in crypto, or it doesn't matter how long really, is that the only way to really make it is and to separate yourself from the crowd is you have to dig deeper and form a bias analysis, whatever the fuck you want to call it, around more than just the current price action. Because most people only their whole focus is on what has price done in the last few weeks, and you got to dig deeper. You got to look at supply distribution for meme coins. It might be community, bunch of other different stuff for L1s. It might be different stuff, but you have to dig deeper and form an analysis and a bias on these coins that's deeper than just the last few weeks of price action. That's the only way we can become proactive instead of being reactive. Reactive is just chasing price on the way up, which is usually just leads to no gains, right? Only way to make money is you have to stay invested and be buying these things on the way down, or when they're going sideways. And usually that's the time where you'll get the most FUD and you know negative talk about it. So either way, I do want to go ahead and look at charts and stuff here, but I want to get to the chat here first. Hope everybody, like I said, is having a fucking great Friday. I want to know in the chat, what have you guys been trading? Have you guys been buying? Are you mostly just sitting on your hands? Have you been accumulating? You've been fucking with memes. Let me know what your week's been looking like. But what's your favorite altcoin? Thomas H says. Just depends what you mean by altcoin, brother. I know a lot of people have different definitions. Technically, anything that's not Bitcoin is an altcoin. ETH is an altcoin technically, but if you mean non-meme coin alts, there's a few I really like. As far as L1s go, ETH and Sol obviously hold a huge bag. XRP, I bought a bunch down here. I've actually made a post about it in the Telegram back in June, back when it was down here at like 230, 240. I accumulated a good spot bag, but mostly started a pretty big long position, and in which I just took the 50% profit off of on the long, still holding the spot bag. I really like XRP. I mean, XRP I think is going to $10, guys. In a world where I think Bitcoin goes 300, 400, 500K, XRP is easily going to $10 because it's one of the few coins in crypto that has the best of like both worlds. It's like a dual threat. It has a crazy like all-time great normie community, like super cult-like community that rides for it no matter what the price is doing, and then also has a institutional narrative going for it now with the government talking about it and the stockpile and all that good stuff. So yeah, I think XRP goes to $10 and probably way higher with when the normies come in here soon. So yeah, XRP, really like AVAX. I think right now may be super undervalued, and one you might need to be a little bit more patient on before it goes really crazy is Superverse. For those of you guys don't know, Superverse is a project started by Elio Trades, who's someone I have a lot of respect for. I've learned a lot from, but it's just one of the great builders and names in the space. He started back in 2021. I remember I got into the IDO and held most of it on the way down, but yeah, one of they aim to be like the chain for crypto gaming. And of course, crypto gaming hasn't taken off. It's been kind of in a deep bear for a long time here. But I think crypto gaming is just inevitable. I think it's the next evolution of gaming in general is going to be on blockchain and allowing gamers to actually have real ownership of their assets. How long does that take? I don't know. But I'm just been accumulating Super. It's probably one that is super undervalued, especially when crypto gaming takes off. So Super, XRP, SWI. But yeah, Doge. For me, Doge, again, I was accumulating it a bit on the way down, but watching Kaleo's streams the last few days, which, for those of you guys, I'm sure most of you guys know Kaleo. He's one of the most respected and biggest names on crypto Twitter. But just watching his stream yesterday, he thinks Doge is going to $7, or $1 trillion market cap, which I know sounds insane, but if you break down the numbers, last time Bitcoin hit $1 trillion market cap, Doge was at 70 cents, or I'm sorry, yeah, like 70 cents, which was about 100 million, just around that, and it was 10% of Bitcoin's market cap. If Bitcoin goes to 10 trillion, which would be about 4 or 500K, Doge at $1 trillion would only be 10% of its market cap again. So, it sounds crazy right now, but everybody who was around in 2020 and 2021 saw how crazy Doge went, how fast it happened. I could easily see something, who knows, even if it doesn't hit a trillion, 500 billion, 100 billion. I think we're going to see not only Doge rip above $1, but multiple dollars. And I could definitely see a world where Doge does go to a trillion if we get this big hype cycle that I think is coming. I agree with Kaleo. I think everything is set up right now to not only have the biggest crypto bull run, but the biggest NFT bull run, probably simultaneously. Again, because of a number of things. The biggest thing is that regulatory clarity. That's going to allow founders and builders to really build in crypto and not be worried about the SEC fucking breathing down their back for like the first time ever, right? And I think that's going to lead to a huge wave, a speculative wave, but not only that, but just huge growth for the industry, right? So I think we're going to see something that makes 2021 look, insane. Maybe it's a slower ramp up, 100%, but I think we're going to see something like 2020, 2021, but something that lasts for several years. Again, because of this is the first true adoption cycle for crypto, right? Where like these assets and the technology are actually being adopted by the biggest companies, the biggest institutions in the world. I don't know what happened there. Um, and for that reason, I think we're going to see the craziest hype cycle ever, right? So, what does that look like? How high does Bitcoin go in that scenario? I don't know, but I think these assets, Doge, Bitcoin, ETH, Sol, are going to be much higher come this time next year. So, um, I know there's a ton of people in the chat. I want to see if I missed any questions. What is up, Rojan? What's up, Mike Owen? What's up, uh, Zan Jenny? What's up, Dangy? What's up, Wonk? Good afternoon. What's up, Desi? What's up? What are we buying? Man, there's a lot of good shit. For me, I think the best bang for your buck is still in those movement type meme coins, the Giga SPX. SPX already kind of taken off, but Giga, uh, ticker Bitcoin, lock in. I really like. We'll go over some memes here in a second, but I think there's a lot of good shit right now in a lot of different niches that has yet to take off. What's Trump saying with retirement accounts? Yeah, so Damien, that's a good question. Trump retirement accounts are now uh, are now going to be able to Trump executive order to allow Americans to invest 401k retirement savings into Bitcoin and crypto. So for the first time, I would assume this is through the ETFs. You'll be able to, if obviously the executive order goes through or whatever, people with their 401k or retirement savings will be able to use that to buy, again, I would assume the ETFs. And Americans hold 9 trillion in 401k savings. So yeah, I think it's just more proof of just more people being able to have access to Bitcoin and crypto exposure. And as this stuff becomes more commonplace and as crypto is in more of the news now, these people, again, $9 trillion having access to Bitcoin and crypto, especially as the people who are actually retiring are, you know, are as the younger people start retiring, I should say, more and more of them, especially 10 years from now, let's say, uh, more and more of that money, I assume, will go into crypto assets versus more traditional, like, stocks and shit. Imagine how many bears got smoked with e-shorts. Yeah, man. Lucky, that's a good point, bro. The Bitcoin or the ETH shorts are actually like I think there's a record ETH short still on ETH, and a lot of that is people who are just hedging their longs. But either way, those ETH shorts and that's probably why you're seeing it go up so hard, is because a lot of shorts are being squeezed like crazy. When pump stimmy? Yeah, we'll talk about pump here in a second. Brand, is the pump fund airdrop still happening? Yes, I do believe the pump fund airdrop is going to happen at some point. I really do like how they did it though, where they didn't do a huge airdrop right off the beginning, because even though we are getting a sell off, I think it's going to be pretty minimal. 941 people already in here at 15 minutes in. Obviously, that's not live viewers, but just views overall. Shout out to you guys. Hope everybody's having a fucking amazing Friday. Um, I think things are really going to get fun here. Shout out to everybody who stuck around, who didn't panic sell and all that shit. And even if you did, you're still fucking early. You're still here. Elon is new cool, guys. yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Let me know. Do you think Elon's going to come back and talk about Doge and potentially other Web3 crypto stuff, or do you think this cycle he's going to be too busy or not focused on meme coins and Doge? To me personally, I think it's inevitable if Doge goes above $1 or even close to there. He doesn't mention Doge at all or champion it at all anymore. But anything's possible. Let me know what you think in the chat, though. Um, what do you think about FWOG? FWOG, I think, is going higher. I think FWOG is a nice couple months of consolidation, and I think it moves higher here. What's your opinion? Yeah. Yeah. Also, if you guys are on TikTok, I assume most of you guys are. Check out my page at Bren Trades on TikTok. Just started to get posting on there the last few weeks. Obviously, normies. And when I say normies, I'm not trying to fucking demean anybody. I just mean people who are just non crypto native retail, right? I think a lot of them are going to be coming back on TikTok, Instagram, and all that. So definitely trying to expand on those. A lot of clips like this on the stream, a lot of other cool stuff. I do plan on doing a lot of. I'm gonna. Sorry, there's a. Oh, my bad. No, it's fine. I'm not sharing it right now anyway. Um, but yeah, a lot of cool content on there. Check me out on there and on Instagram, which is actually in my bio. But peeps are bipolar with the sentiment. Yeah, crypto fiend. Most people, man, only focus on the last few weeks of price action, which you're always going to be at the whim of the market and your emotions at that point. You have to dig deeper and form a thesis and analysis based on other shit. Like for me, I really get a lot like pretty fucking nerdy with these coins sometimes, like knowing all these different things and basing it off community and all that different stuff. Um, Watching interviews with the founders of the coins, sometimes stuff like that. That's really where you get the golden nuggets, where you're able to get like real conviction off of. What's up? What's up, everybody? What's up, Mike? How you doing, bro? Giga, sleeping giant, 100%. Giga might be Giga ticker Bitcoin, lock in, FWOG, all haven't taken off yet. I think are all in great places. Been buying everything Elon tweets. Yeah, I only bought some Brett. Yeah, Brett's good. Elon currently feeding the trenches. XRP will. Yeah, we'll talk about every stream. Yo, take a big loss. Took a big loss at like 2K. What's your advice? I don't want to quit, brother. Yeah, you just said it right there. You just it's such a. I'll just tell you a little bit about my journey, man. Like 9 years I've been fucking around with crypto. I started with Forex, right? And for 2 or 3 years, man, I kid you not. Um, and granted, I wasn't playing with big amounts back then. I was 20, 21 years old, maybe like 19, 20 years old. Didn't have a lot of money, but I lost, in a Forex, like blew my account for probably a year and a half, 2 years before I made any profits or before I like broke even. Um, and the thing is at that time, it was like, yeah, like I would stay up all fucking night, dude. I remember and blow my account. And just, it would be frustrating. But even back then I just realized like, this is tuition. A lot of people pay a lot of money to go hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to school. The lessons that I've learned, let's put it this way, I've learned way more from what not to do from my mistakes with Forex and in crypto. Um, and feeling the pain of like the loss and the mistakes than I ever did from like wins, right? And you hear that a lot. It's cliche, but it's the truth, bro. So what I would say is just be patient and understand that these losses you're taking are what's necessary for you to actually build a pattern recognition and just start winning. Really, like the mistakes and the losses are just completely necessary. So just give yourself time. I don't know how long you've been in this, but I don't. It doesn't even matter, man. Just keep going. Just start writing down and start focusing on what went wrong. And again, those will be the biggest ways to learn what to do is by taking losses. So you're just getting started, bro. Industry's just getting started. We're about to hit a massive wave of you know new volume coming into crypto. In that case, you could have blown your account 5 times by now or lost everything. You're still here at a great time, man. Obviously, learn from your mistakes, but don't be too hard on yourself, dude. Black dropped this week. Yes, Black. I want to hear what you guys have to say about that. Black is another project or a DEX launched by Elio Trades and Alex Becker. And there's a coin attached to it. I actually got an airdrop for my Neo Tokyo NFT. But yeah, we'll talk about that here in a second too. Got my conviction accumulated, low qualities, 100%. Bro, I need advice when I need someone to guide me. Yeah, I hope that answered your question, brother. What's your take on the pump launch? Yeah, let's go ahead and get started with the pump right after this. Gonna be more fun watching Euphoria. Yes, 100%. Exciting months ahead. Yes. Lock in. Are we going to see an NFT bull market? Yes, I do think so. So what we're going to do after this, I'm going to talk about pump. We'll talk about meme coins, and then I will talk about NFTs all in the next like 15, 20 minutes here. And holding NFTs at the moment, they seem to be bullish. Yes, I've been accumulating my high conviction to like 4 or 5 projects over the last 8 to 9 months. And I do think we're going to get a big NFT bull run. Trump's involvement in the crypto market has been very evident. Yeah, Trump, say what you want about him, buddy. They've definitely gone above and beyond what they said they were going to do. Elon is the biggest coal. Yeah. Well said, bro. Great advice. Which altcoin sectors have the most potential? I like. I really like. I all of the above, bro. All of the above. What I would say, all the ones you listed right there are all going to run. I think they're going to run at different times. I would say DeFi out of those two, DeFi and layer twos are probably most prime. We're already seeing coins like, let's just pull it up right here. Like we're already seeing coins like Aave, for example, go nuts, right? A lot of those 2021 coins are already back pretty much at all-time highs. And that's obviously because of the narrative around traditional finance and like DeFi kind of merging. So yeah, you got the Aaves and stuff already running. But I think all of the above, bro. I think AI is obviously going to be a massive one for obvious reasons. And then I would just say, yes, all of those are going to do really well. It's just they run at different times, right? I hit the bottom 7 times in 2 years. This is my 8th time. What helped you most starting out? Fire ask questions in the chat today. Shout out to all you. Shout out to all you guys. Um, I hit the bottom 7 times in 2 years. This is my 8th time. What helped you most starting out? It's a good question, man. Again, I think just from the beginning, I think I was lucky, maybe because I watched videos and read and really got perspective from people who have more years in the game than me. But I always was able to see that um, these losses I'm taking were just going to lead me to eventually at clicking, right? You just got to understand that. Like, use me as an example, like somebody again who I said 2 or 3 years where I didn't make any money in trading at all. And again, it took me 2 or 3 years after that to make any like serious money. So you're talking about 4 or 5 years in before I started like really making, where I was able to go full time with everything. So you just got to keep that end goal in mind, bro. That's it. You got to understand now is even 8 years when I was trading crypto, like the shit was niche as fuck. Like some people thought Bitcoin and stuff were going to be, the world reserve currency and all this stuff. But, we're in a much more clear like path, and you're just getting started at a great time, bro. So just keep that end goal in mind. And even if you have to hit the bottom fucking 10, 12 times, dude, it just that 13th, 14th time could be it. Just again, like I told the other guy, just learn from your mistakes, but just understand that you want to put in a lot of time to get better in the short term, but you got to give yourself time. This is a long journey. You see all these people, like myself, most people, they don't make it overnight. Like you just got to put in time. Much love, brother. This cycle gonna melt face. People still got PTSD from last bull. Yeah, shout out to Hayes, man. Check out what they're doing with K's cool project he's got going on. But dude, I completely agree. People still got PTSD. You understand? 100% like valid. Totally get why people might be freaked out and they want to be more cautious because of the last few years and all that. But I think we're finally gonna get that 2021, 2017 type bull run. And I do think FTX and a lot of the other stuff, like Hayes is saying, has led to people kind of being more cautious. But I do think we're gonna get a crazy run here. What are your thoughts on Pudgy Penguins? I'm bullish as fuck on Pudgies. Um, and for the number one reason is because with these NFT projects, the IP plays, the number one thing that's going to drive their success is going to be the operator behind it, right? The obviously the IP has to be something people are going to like, but it's always about the person driving the ship, right? And Luca is just a fucking beast, man. Guy's a visionary. I think the reason why Pudgy Penguin winning is because they've been able to mesh both worlds of the physical world and making it relevant with um, the plushies and the toys in Walmart and the gifts. And then also he just engages in Web3 like a degen, right? He talks about Pengu flipping Doge. He launched the coin in general. I really fuck with his social currency thesis. If you guys haven't read that yet, um, go check out Luca's social currency Substack here about pretty much how he says, social currencies, which Pengu is like the pioneer of, are going to be like the next phase of meme coins where, these coins become big international movements and brands. Like a lot of MOG, SPX Giga, I think a lot of them are moving towards that. And Pengu being there as well. Definitely go and check this out. I think this is kind of where crypto and meme coins are heading towards. But I'm super bullish on the Pudgies and Pengu in general. What is an effective take profit strategy during alt season? Great question. Definitely go check out the Telegram Bossman Calls. The link's in my bio. I know a lot of you guys are probably from there. I'm super active on Twitter, especially lately, but Twitter, obviously, there's character limits and all that. So my in-depth, like all my thoughts on different trade ideas, tips and tricks. I do videos talking about stuff like profit taking strategies and all that. So definitely check that out in the Telegram. I actually have a video called ABTPP. It stands for always be taking partial profits, where I go over my in-depth profit taking strategy. But I would say, just in short, to answer your question, brother, would be you want to have a profit taking strategy where you take partial profits on the way up based on certain profit taking certain milestones. Like for me, for example, I'll take 20 usually. You'll take 25% off at 3 to 5x, depending on if the coin stalls at 3x or goes straight to 5. I'll take 25% off there, which essentially gets me risk free. And then, if it goes 10x, I'll take another 25% off, and so on and so forth. Obviously, if you're trading smaller coins, your milestones are going to be different. But the whole point is you want to have a profit taking strategy system set up ahead of time so that you take the emotion out of it. If not, you're just going to be at the whim of, like, again, the market and your emotions. And we all know that shit, that's how you get wrecked. Right. So that's what I would say. Have its profit taking system where you're taking partial profits on the way up. Most people, they think in absolutes. They either take profits, sell 100% everything too early, or they round trip everything to zero. This taking partial profits on the way up solves for both of those things, kind of eliminates both of those problems, right? So that's what I would say. Brent, always looking forward to these streams. Shout out to you, Holy Father. Which you fuck with more, perps or memes? I fuck with both, right? I would say for somebody first starting out, I think right now, the quote unquote easy money, or like the more sure bet right now, is to buy a lot of these proven memes that are still down. But perps is something I would, if you're brand new to crypto or charts and stuff, is something I would give yourself time to learn over a few years. Don't make that your main thing. And just buying and holding the memes, I would say, is a better strategy. Let's go ahead and talk about Pump, though. We'll talk about leverage trading and stuff later, Zilla. But let's go ahead and talk about Pump. Obviously, if you guys were in the stream last week, you've been on the Twitter timeline. I've been bull posting Pump, and it did go up. Oh, hold on. It did go up initially last week. I don't know why it's not loading right now. This Pump futures contract. 1 second. Let me just go to. Did I stop sharing my screen? Hold on, guys. Give me a second. Let's just go here. So let me just pull it up on here then. So Pump, obviously, came up, popped up off the initial launch, went up, and I had an original long here around 0.058. Went up a bit, didn't take any profits, just didn't go up enough yet, and then I got stopped out at break even. But I do think everything I was saying about Pump, I do still think that it will have a run. Most of these a big run. I still think it's going to go to 10 billion plus. It's even though it's down 30% here, it's still a relatively smooth launch compared to a lot of these like Pengu, for example, where it came out, went up a bit, and then just went down 90%. And that's because it was a big overhang from people getting airdrops. Obviously, Pump didn't do an airdrop, or at least hasn't yet. And the rumors are airdrop's going to be like max $2,000 for each participant. So obviously, not ideal for people who are expecting a big airdrop, but I think it's going to lead to not as much sell pressure on the coin. And what I want to see here on Pump is at some point, at least a few weeks or maybe at least a week or around there of consolidation before it bottoms out and heads higher. I think Pump, whether it be a couple weeks in the next couple of weeks or next couple of months, is going to be a no-brainer for upside. And again, probably the 10 billion mark. You really just have to look at the team and their ability to. They have infinite amount of revenue to do a bunch of stuff. So they've already started doing buybacks. I still think there's people selling off the pre-sale, but I think in the next couple of weeks we're going to see some consolidation and then probably a move higher for Pump. So my plan for Pump, I'm just accumulating on the way down. Obviously, this isn't ideal, but still only down 30% from the all-time high, and I'd not be surprised to see it be mostly through with its correction here. So I think for me, obviously it could go down another 20-30% for all I know, but this is something that I'm going to be DCAing into and really be looking for some consolidation to start accumulating more, or heavier at least. This is typical to what we see with these new launches, and really just got to zoom out and have some patience here. But I think this is going to give a great buy opportunity for something key infrastructure in crypto, the biggest money maker on Solana, revenue maker. I think it's a no brainer in DCA here for Pump. If you must do Pump, low leverage, yeah. Been missing Max recently. Yeah, I love learning. Yeah, Max is a great guy. Haven't really heard from him lately, but I hope he's doing well. What are the core factors that led to Pump's rise and sudden decline? I mean, do you think it goes below ICO prices? It could, bro. I think most of the downside's done. I think this is just due to mostly people selling off the pre-sale. But I think there's a strong narrative there for I'm bullish on Pump for the same reason I'm bullish on Trump. It's about the operator's ability to really create partnerships, create noise, create hype. Trump being the fucking obviously the president could tweet about it at any time. It's just massive. They can do stuff like dinners where Pump, they're the biggest revenue generator, have all the money in the world to do, sponsorships, to do a number of things. So I'm bullish on Pump still. Do you think social currencies will replace traditional meme coins? No, I think they're going to be both, man. I think that's a great question, Tom. I think the strongest meme coins, the ones that are at 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 billion maybe, are going to be the movement coins that look more like social currencies. Right? Murad calls them like movement coins. I think they're all going to morph into kind of the same thing where there's going to be more IP coins where it's about an IP, like an actual IP, like Pudgies. And then there's going to be meme coins that are actual brands formed around a movement. Like Giga already has Giga Fitness and stuff like that. And I think a lot of these things start to look very similar. Simple yet effective TA. Yeah, I mean, nothing too crazy. Again, what I'd be looking for as far as technical like chart patterns, I would just be looking for some consolidation. Like that's the number one thing. I mean, if you're new to crypto, new to looking at charts or just in general, this is like some alpha here. Like the number one, it's simple, but the number one thing you're looking for when you're looking for a reversal at top or bottom, like a major top or bottom, is consolidation. Um, all the big major tops on Bitcoin over the last several years, obviously the 2021 top, we got consolidation for over 8 months. Same here in 2019. Just if you're looking, especially for bottom. Sorry, I wasn't sharing my screen. Especially for bottoms, you're looking for consolidation, right? So that's what I'd be looking for pump. Maybe a week or two of consolidation before it heads back up. But either way, this looks very corrective. Again, corrective in the sense that it's not just melting down with straight red candles. It's down and choppy, which means there's still people accumulating. So I'm bullish on pump. This could take a few weeks, but I'm just going to be accumulating. Any Elon tweet about pump will cause a spike? Potentially. I don't know if you guys saw that tweet, the tweet he did last. I wonder if this is still his. Oh, there he is. I wonder if this is still his last tweet. Um, yeah, he said fuck it, Jew mode, and it topped. So, I think no, but I would say you're mostly right on that. I don't know about tweet by tweet, but I think pump will do a number of things to make it go up. How important is storytelling community narrative for the success of meme coins? I would say content is very important for sure. Um, but yeah, let's go ahead and look at the majors again. I think pump goes up in the next few months, probably much sooner, and expect to see it at $5-10 billion in the coming future or in the coming months. Let's go ahead and look at Bitcoin though. Crazy to see. You're already seeing people just fucking freaking out again, but I think Bitcoin right now is very likely forming a corrective consolidation, meaning the correction is in the form of a consolidation here over the last few months, or sorry, the last few days. Um, so I see something probably like this playing out where Bitcoin comes back down, maybe. Sorry, let me do this. Comes back down, maybe sweeps that low, or just forms a higher low, one of those two, and then heads higher. That's kind of my base case. I think Sol is kind of the biggest dead giveaway right now for the other majors. This is just a beautiful coil up, corrective coil up where no consolidation. Remember how I was talking about a second ago? Major reversals will have consolidation. Corrections are the opposite. They usually come down with no consolidation. So no consolidation, choppy behavior, multiple lows and bounces. To me, this is like I like to look at these corrective coil ups as like a spring, right? Yes, it's pulling back, but really it's just springing and coiling up before the next explosion to the upside. And I think these corrective coil ups are really a reflection of price buy and sell pressure. Like so yeah, I think Sol obviously coiled up. It's going to head higher. A lot of people, like I said in that tweet yesterday, people are saying, "Oh, Sol's underperforming," and just kind of trying to write it off. I think we're entering a period here where Sol and ETH are just going to go nuts. Just the move is just to have a bag of both of these things. I think, not try to pit them against each other. But yeah, I think Sol maybe goes. It's lagging behind, so I expect it to hit $200 here pretty quickly. ETH already running hard. I think once it hits 4,800, smashes that 4,800 level, I think it's gonna be off to the races. I think this 4,800 all time high is just like a big psychological level for a lot of people, and they see 2021 it hasn't hit that all time high since 2021, and once it finally does, it's gonna be a big unlock for people where I think it's really gonna go crazy and go to 510, 510K pretty quickly. Kaleo, again, someone I was watching his stream yesterday. He thinks ETH goes to $25,000 on this run here in the next few years. And again, man, I could see it. Again, that's why I'm saying 10K. I think 10K happens pretty quickly here. And just like most people are just expecting Bitcoin to just go on like a small run here, but what most people are missing is I think normies are going to come in for the first time in 2021, and that's the key that pushes these bull runs to just be fucking insane, where you see Bitcoin 2 or 3x in a month, or you see these altcoins 5, 10, 20, 30, 50x in a month or two, is the normies, that just that huge influx of capital. And we saw it in November for a little bit of time, and I think we see it again here in the next few months, and I think that's what's going to push ETH, Bitcoin, Sol, everything way higher than just shatter everybody's expectations. Because a lot of these people here are a lot of people trading right now are the first time they first came in NFTs or they first came in on meme coins and they haven't experienced the full like hype cycle normie hype cycle. But when that does happen, it gets crazy. That's what's about to happen here. I know I'm ranting today, but yeah, Bitcoin as well. I think it heads higher here shortly. Could be a couple days. Obviously, we are going into the weekend, so could see some chop in sideways, or it could rip whenever. But yeah, I think everything's coiled. ETH looks really coiled as well too. Could see another low, maybe around 35, but I think ETH rips higher. Just is it possible for meme? Oh, you already asked that. How can we pick altcoins with strong fundamentals amid hype? Strong founders, relevant narratives, time in the game, all big things. We must fill the CME gap. We don't have to fill anything, brother. That's what I would say. I would, CME gaps. Yes, they do fill most of the time, but I could show you gaps on Nvidia from the 80s and the 90s. One of those two, 80 or 90, I forgot what year it was, that hasn't filled. So yes, most of the time it does fill, but I really just don't really look at gaps. Like I don't really factor it in. I mean, obviously I see it there, and if a gap happens to coincide with the level I think it's going to hit, then great. But I think basing analysis off gaps will get you wrecked a lot of times. Obviously, it's a plus, and most gaps do fill, but sometimes they don't. And if you're short, expecting a gap's going to fill, you might get wrecked. So I don't really pay attention too much to them. Always when Bitcoin is higher, everyone is a genius, but when it sells, drop 1%. Yeah. Sol is basically the most volatile altcoin, probably going to pump hard at the end of the month. Yeah. Still advise of the profit taking I've been accumulating over the past 8 months at all different prices, so it's hard to know when to hit sell. Almost seems a lot easier to just hold out until mid bull and stuff. Yeah, no, that's valid, Maloof. Totally get that. I would just say whether it be, I think for me the best way, I've just set my milestones based off of ROI. Like again, when I'm up 5, 10, 15x, you want to make it systematic or like a system so that you're not based it off of like feeling, right? Because right now you're saying that, and I 100% believe you're going to be able to take some profits, brother. But right now you're saying, oh, right, I'm going to just hit sell mid bull. But like it gets euphoric in these bulls, right? Where right now you're going to say that, but a lot of people will say that. And then when it happens, they just don't hit sell, right? Because it's euphoric. They think it's going to go up another 5 or 10x and then things top and they don't sell. So I would just say make sure you have. That's why we take partial profits too, Maloof, right? Because say you take off 25% and 30%, 50% even, you still have 50% of that bag left. You took some profits, you're risk free, you made some money, you locked in some gains either way. But also you still have 50% left, right? So it's the best of both worlds. You don't have to guess. Taking partial profits allows us to not have to guess whether the market's going to keep going up or not. Everybody is just so all or nothing, right? Everybody, oh, I have to fucking go all in here or I have to sell everything here. When in reality, it's like, and not or, right? You want to take partial profits while still having a bag in case it does go up. It's win-win either way. And like the peace of mind that gives you as well, once you're already risk free and you're like, fuck, this thing could go to zero right now. I'm already up. It's big. It's huge. I recall you being consistently bullish about ETH when everyone else was doom posting. Yeah, shout out to you, Miss D. Miss D has been on the streams here with us for many months. Appreciate you, Miss D. But yeah, to me, it was just obvious. I've learned over the years that price action is fleeting and you have to dig deeper and pay attention to the stuff that's going around crypto that's going to lead, because in crypto, like narrative follows price most of the time, right? You'll have these great things that are happening in the background, but it doesn't lead to price going up for months at a time sometimes. And to me, this was just the most obvious, amazing things happening for crypto. And despite prices going down, I knew eventually it's just going to lead to not only prices going up, but like a real true, like strong bull run. So yeah, shout out to you, Miss D. I mean, it was just obvious, but again, if you're here next time, just dig deeper. Like, you don't have to get super nerdy and watching 2-hour interviews, but start looking for things outside of crypto or outside of price action to form a thesis around. They used to call ETH cursed coin. Yeah, I mean, when they call things cursed, like, that's when you really want to look at stuff, though, man. It's just, I mean, look at Amazon back in fucking. I just always use this example. You look at Amazon back in let's see if this goes back far enough. I think no, I don't. Maybe not. Yeah, hold on. Look at Amazon back after the .com crash, right? Let me go to the monthly. After the .com crash, obviously came down, topped out in January 2000 and bottomed out in September 2001. And I'm sure during this time, obviously everybody was calling Amazon like, oh, it's doomed, it's cursed, this is fucking cursed. Yeah, anybody who bought during this time, yes, you probably took some drawdown. But look what Amazon did after that, right? It went from 30 cents to where it is now at a fucking thousand. What is it? $225, a 500x. So yeah, I would just even what Amazon didn't make a new all-time high, guys, until fucking May 2010. 10 years after that. So people are complaining, oh, ETH's cursed because it hasn't hit a new all-time high in 3 or 4 years. Like, Amazon, one of the greatest companies of all time, took 10 years to go back. So any new all-time altcoins you have in mind that you haven't shared in Telegram yet? Yeah, we'll talk about some alts here in a second. So if you had a low among the 500, what's the best way to scale? I would say the same way I was describing a second ago. And that is, that's the biggest misconception in crypto. One of the biggest ones is that you have $500, therefore you have to play the pump fund lottery and send that money at low caps. When in reality, especially right now, when all the great coins are still at 50, 70%, 75% discounts, you can take that $500 right now, I'm telling you, and spread that among 3 to 5 coins. For me, I think the biggest bang for your buck is in the movement coins between 100 and 500 million right now. The Gigas, Bitcoins, MOGs, SPX, obviously already at all-time highs, but SPX, ticker Bitcoin, lock-in, stuff like that has a couple years in the game, a year and a half in the game, but is going to go way higher from here. Like, that is still in a great place correction-wise and still has at a great discount, but still has a lot of upside. I think that's the best bang for your buck. If you spread that amongst 3 to 5 of these coins and just wait until they 5 to 10x over the next year or so and take profits on the way up, maybe take 25% here, put it back into ETH, wait for other opportunities, like smart opportunities, be very thoughtful. I think that's your best shot, man. Instead of sending at a pump fund lottery, the pump fund lottery, which gives you like a 2 to 5% chance, especially if you're new, it's very tough. You want to put that into 3 to 5 coins and just have patience. The trade-off is going to be patience, man. And that's what I would do if I was starting out $500. Who are the Chads you follow on crypto Twitter? Yeah. The people that have helped me the most in my journey. There's obviously, I like to learn from people, everywhere, right? There's a couple hundred people that I follow in different niches that, I follow them just to learn, right? The big ones for me over the years have been Elio Trades, like I said. Let's go ahead and pull it up. Elio Trades, huge for me. His early YouTube videos were just massive for me in learning and finding early coins. Obviously, you got Alex Becker. Same reason, learned a lot of early coins, just mindset. These people are very positive, bullish, people who have made a lot of money in the real world, especially Alex. And he just really understands markets and just like, it's just really smart. I learned a lot from these guys. Kaleo, like I said, more so on the chart side, but just overall, just super positive, bullish, smart motherfucker. Again, go check out his NFT project, Wonky Stonks. One of the projects I'm really bullish on. Has time in the game, great operator, cool art, especially for those of you who are in the charts. Definitely check this out. But Kaleo, Elio, Alex Becker, Lark Davis, I actually learned a lot from back in the day in his YouTube videos. Um, a really like underrated one who's just coming up. Uh, I can't believe he only has 7,000 followers. I think he started his Twitter account not too long ago though, or started posting. Is this guy Leo Lanza? Um, oh wow, Leo's actually going on Bankless, which is super cool. But Leo, super smart dude. He makes great videos, kind of talking about Ethereum mostly, and all these great things in the background. And he's super bullish too. He thinks Ethereum, because of how ETH and because of Ethereum and how much of the world's finance, contracts, collectibles, all these things that are going to be on chain, is just going to make Ethereum. He thinks Ethereum goes to 10 to 25K as well. So definitely go check him out. There's a lot of people out there. I should probably make a more qualified list or more of a comprehensive list. But yeah, those are the big 4 or 5 that I would say I've learned a ton from. And then I think Murad's great as well. Again, I've learned a lot from him in as far as a lot of these same ideas. Like I had similar thoughts even before his speech and stuff about how these cult communities, but he really put it eloquently. And a lot of these things that he's talking about with cult memetics and movement type, just like different things about community dynamics. We're already starting to see a lot of hedge funds and institutions and stuff start to have similar thoughts around thesis around these coins. And I think Murad is insanely ahead of his time. And big fan of him as well. Um, yeah, hell yeah. 2K fucking viewers, 2K views, whatever, throughout this stream, an hour in, especially on a Friday. That's huge. Appreciate you guys. If you guys definitely, for a quick reset, definitely like, comment, bookmark the stream. It helps out a lot. And then turn on post noties. I do these streams usually with a couple homies. Recently, I've been doing it myself. I'll be on here again every Friday and Tuesday for now, at least Friday at 10 a.m. and then Tuesday at 1 p.m. PST. And then I think I'm gonna start a Twitter space because I want to be able to bring up a lot of you guys on here, chop it up with you, and have people ask questions and shit. So if that's something that you guys are interested in, you like the Twitter space format, let me know in the chat. But when the emotions come into play, bro, you remind me of an old friend of mine. Voice bed. That's funny. Um, Pump will do a Pengu run soon once it's done retracing. Yeah, that's also another subject. Another thing to talk about. Like, I think there's a small chance, and after watching Kaleo and talk about how, the case for Doge to go to 1 trillion, I would say I think Doge will probably not get flipped by anything as far as meme coin wise or anything. I think the only small chance that Doge does get flipped is if Elon just doesn't touch Doge, and then something like SPX, Mog, Giga just really catches on and just the stars align. But I would put that at 10 or 20% chance. Other than that, I think Doge probably does rip into the multiple hundreds of billions. And I mean, just to see it barely 3x off the all-time highs, yeah, I think it's going to rip way higher. But I mean, let's just go and talk about memes. Let me know what you guys have been accumulating in the chat. For me, I've just been hyper focused the last 6 months on buying this group of 5 to 10 coins. Coin wise, I've been accumulating some altcoins and stuff as well, like the supers and the PAL AIs and the TAOs and stuff like that. But I mean, we're talking strictly memes right now. I've just been hyper focused the last 6 months on accumulating this group of coins. These movement coins, the Gigas, the SPX, the Mogs, the ticker Bitcoins, the lock-ins, the fart coins, because again, just for so many reasons, I think not only do they have tons of upside, but they're going to actually sustain these high market caps and be where a lot of these normies kind of pour their money into, right? Not only do they have these cult-like movements that I think are going to be attractive to a lot of people, but most of them are already on Coinbase and Binance and stuff, ready for these normie types to buy, because that's where these normies, at least for the foreseeable future, this next run, the next few years, are going to be on big exchanges. So I've just been hyper focused on Giga, SPX, Mog. I've been obviously not accumulating as much SPX and Mog now that they're moving up. But right now, what I've been focusing a lot on buying before it goes up is Giga. Giga looks amazing here at 200 million. I think it breaks above this consolidation high pretty quickly here, um, and rips the new all-time highs. Similar to what SPX did. And then from there, I mean, the sky's the limit. I think these things go to multiple billions. I mean, my base case for the XPX, the Gigas, the Mogs, um, ticker Bitcoin's a little smaller, but I think it can has a chance to catch up here. I think my base case for these is 3 to 5 billion, and that's probably really conservative. In a world where Doge goes to 100, 200, 500 billion, I think you're going to see a few of these, whether it be Giga, SPX, Mog, Pepe, maybe go above where Doge is at right now. Like I think we're going to see a couple coins at 50 to 100 billion at least. And in that world, we're looking at a 25 to 30x from here for Giga. So I mean, yeah, even at 2 billion, which I think is extremely conservative for these coins, for something like Giga, you're looking at a 10x. And I know that sounds crazy, but if you just think about how few people are talking about these coins other than the core community still, I think there's just so much upside and so much mind share to be captured by Giga from here. So Bitcoin, ticker Bitcoin as well, already moving up a bit the last few days, but that's another one I've been accumulating heavy. It's just, it checks all the boxes. I think it's finally going to come out of this correction. And once, similar to Bitcoin, the actual Bitcoin, or similar to ETH, I should say, once it breaks above this kind of psychological barrier at 40 cents, which would be around 500 million, I think it goes straight to a billion as well. So Bitcoin lock in as well, guys. I think maybe the most undervalued, the most bang for your buck, or the most highest ROI that you're going to get looking back out of these kind of group of coins, because at 14 million. Call me crazy, but I think we see this one at 2, 3, 500, potentially a billion if things get crazy here. I mean, in a world where Doge is going to run 10, 20x, you're going to see coins like Lock In, whether it be Lock In or the other ones, go 50. So again, I know this sounds crazy to somebody who might be new or whatever, but I'm telling you, when these hype cycles pick up, they pick up, and you see coins go crazy. And despite Lock In being a huge movement or a big name, still super, I still don't, I haven't heard a lot of talk about SPX. I'm sorry, about Lock In, especially as much as the other few movement, Murad coins, whatever. So yeah, I think we see an inverse head and shoulders here too on Lock In. Biggest thing is, again, remember what I said about on the top of the show about consolidation. What do we have here? 4 months of consolidation. I think once it breaks above 2 cents here, it's going to be off to the races. I really like Lock In here a lot. So I mean, you think about it too, despite how much mind share, overall, you still have big names talking about Lock In, overall. Just think about how many people still say Lock In, the phrase Lock In. People of all ages, normies are going to come in here and see Lock In, and it's going to be very attractive to them, I think. Will it hit 3,300 range before moving higher? I don't know, brother. It could pull back, but I think just trying to time these things, especially right now, is just about accumulating, bro. Brent, if I copy traded you, I would have made good money. I mean, yeah, brother. I put out a lot of these ideas again on Twitter and the Telegram months or weeks ahead of time, so I really appreciate the kind words. The third, I appreciate you for reposting. Can we use crypto to build long-term value communities instead of pumps? Yes. On Amazon, that's all split adjusted price, but basically the same. Yeah, they did a bunch of splits as well. But right, it's still the same multiples, right? Obviously, it would be technically, if they didn't do any splits, it would be in the thousands. Hedge looking good, about to pop off. Yeah, let's look at Hedge, man. Shout out to the Hedgens. It's obviously a underrated group of cult like motherfuckers, and wow, moving up pretty hard, almost 2x on the bottom. I really do like how this is consolidated again for 4 months here. If it shifts up about 2x from here, I think that's really looking good for a strong move higher. But yeah, I remember Hedge. Y'all are like really one of the most um, active coins out there. So keep up the good work. 500 into useless, in my opinion. Yeah. What are the chances that Bitcoin will repeat the 2017 or 2021 cycle pattern? You mean like a 50, 60%, 70% crash on Bitcoin again? I don't think that's very likely. I think what's most likely to happen, of course, there's probably going to be some kind of big bear market, multi-year bear market at some point, just like there has been for equities. But I think overall, over the next 10 years for crypto, Bitcoin, ETH, Sol, probably it's going to be mostly up only, kind of like the stock market has been, with big corrections in between, like we saw the last several months. But it's just about expecting those corrections and just not getting too worked up about it. Alex Becker helped me for buying peanut before God pumping. Yeah. Can you work analysis best airdrops in your channel? Yeah, I can think about doing some airdrop stuff. I think just generally using new products, new apps generally is a good idea. Most of these apps are really just rewarding. They're finding ways to just reward users instead of people who are farming it now. So I would just say using new apps that come up. But yeah, I'll definitely consider doing that. Soul man, appreciate that. Everyone is insanely early on colt coins. That's why I've stuck with Hedge. Met many good people through that community. Once over a year in the game. Yeah, Hedge does have the NFTs as well. How old are you? I'm 30. I need looking good lock in. Yeah. Check out startup. All right. Um let's go look at so yeah, NFTs, man. I'm sorry. Meme coins. I've just been accumulating the same, few coins, but I think going to be 10, 20, 50 coins that really make meaningful runs. There's obviously going to be a pump fund volume. I assume will pick up again. Bonk on both platforms. I'm sure maybe other across other chains as well. But right now, I think the biggest bang for your buck, like the biggest like risk to reward bets, are these meme coins that have been around for a year, year and a half, but have you're just still down 50, 75% from the all time highs. For me, that's the Giga SPX Mogs ticker Bitcoins. For you, it might be Hedge, might be a number of coins, right? So I would just say pick your 3 to 10, maybe 15 coins at the most that you really love. Buy and hold those, and just take profits on the way up when things get super hypey. Um, Shout out to all you guys commenting on the post as well. After the stream, I'm gonna do a giveaway. So shout out to everybody showing love on the comment on the stream. Yeah, I'll do that in a bit. But yeah, what's your guys' thoughts on memes and everything? What have you guys been accumulating? I think there's a number, a bunch of coins that you can be accumulating right now. It's just about buying right now or holding right now and just taking profits on the way up, just not overcomplicating it. No big crash and correction would be wonderful so we can keep this constant profits. Yeah, that would be nice, but just take profits on the way up so it'll be good either way. Yeah, we'll look at Rect. Yeah, Rect is beautiful, man. Really, really, really impressive what they've been able to do. Super bullish on a. This is one of the coins that already had an NFT, and then they had a coin added a coin later based around the drinks and everything, and just really bullish on what they're able to do. 200 million market cap. Honestly, I think the Rec Guy NFTs maybe a nice buy right now with them not picking up too crazy yet, but with an NFT meta or an NFT bull market, I think going to be picking up. Um, I think that the Rec Guys might be, yeah, at a half an ETH. I have one right now, but I should probably pick up a few more. Rex, I think the art's fucking sweet on the Rec Guys. And like I said, they've done super well in the coin 200 million. So yeah, I really like the guys over at Rect. Obviously OSF and everything like that. I think it's another one that has product line around it, a great NFT project with good art, and then most importantly, that great operator behind it, well known name, well respected, well loved. I think what they've been able to do with the products and having the coin kind of surrounding the product line is going to be something we're going to see a lot of going into the next few years. I can't believe how active this chat is, guys. Really appreciate you guys, and pretty soon I'm gonna add the face cam here, and so you don't have to look at my fucking frog PFP lighting up every second. But really appreciate you hanging out with me. You think some of the big pump narratives will be relaunched on Bonk? I don't know. I'm not the right person to ask about that. For those of you guys probably know, like I'm not. I don't really trade coins on Pump Fun. My edge, I feel like, is in buying and holding like meme coins and everything else, and then trading perps. A lot of other people, their game is like the smaller coins. So I really don't have a strong opinion on that. I'd imagine some of them do, but thoughts on Lucky Coin? Lucky Coin's not one I've looked at recently. Let's go ahead and pull it up. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know too much about this coin. You could say that this is corrective, but I would look for a bit of consolidation for a few weeks before it bottoms out. But yeah, I mean, this is the time if you do believe in it, for other reasons, again, other than the chart, this is the time you would want to be accumulating. But I don't know enough to give you a strong opinion. Are you looking at launch pads like Believe? Yeah, no, I pay attention to it for sure. I think a number of these launch pads we're going to get enough capital into crypto where the number of these launch pads are going to be able to do well simultaneously, right? So I think what Believe is doing is really fucking cool though, and how they're helping business startup founders and stuff raise capital through tokens. I think it's really sweet. Yo, Brent, thoughts on Valentine? Yo, look at Valentine. Why does ETH trading pair look different for Rect versus BNB pair? Because obviously ETH and BNB are moving different, right? The ETH pair is it's priced against ETH, and I believe ETH has been moving up more than BNB. I believe so. It's going to be a different chart, but generally, it's yeah. I think generally I should probably have had the ETH one up, right? Because who the hell's really pricing the Rect in BNB? But yeah, no, that's probably why, bro. Wow, 2,500 people in here at some point in the hour, and I think that's a record. Shout out to you guys. Check the WAGMI chart. Yeah, I'll look at a couple more charts, and then I want to talk a little bit about base and what they have going on there. I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are too. WAGMI. WAGMI. WAGMI looks decent. The only thing I would say is it has been consolidating here for 18 days. And like I said, consolidation oftentimes leads to reversal. So you really want to see it just fire up here and hit new all-time highs here pretty quickly. And if it breaks below 0.003, like here, you could see it fall a good amount here. So I would just be cautious. Um, best case scenario, it just rips above the all-time high. If it does break below here, do not be surprised to see it fall back down to at least 0.0015. So I would just be looking to where this correction or this consolidation breaks to. Who knows? Maybe again, most of the time consolidation leads to some type of reversal. Who knows? Maybe it does something like this and then powers back to the upside. I don't know enough about the strength of the community and supply distribution and all that to really be able to give you a strong answer other than that. But I think this is best case scenario is that it comes down, sweeps this low, and then continues up. Thank you, Coolio. Appreciate you, man. Need thoughts on USDUC? I'll go look at USDUC. USDUC. So USDUC is one I've been accumulating more slowly as well. I think it's correcting just like it did here, just like it did here. I think it's forming another one of those. I think the stablecoin narrative and what they have going on there, this being kind of the meme like parody version of that, with stablecoins still going to be a huge narrative, and then the people behind it, people working behind the scenes, the people who are pushing it, there are also people I respect. So USDUC coin with 3 days of consolidation here, I would not be surprised to see it shift back to the upside, and it's been accumulating here slowly. I think it's one like lock in that is kind of a sleeper to go to the maybe to the 100 million level at some point. So yeah, been accumulating USDUC, and I think House Coin's kind of in a similar boat. I think it's a really bigger potential kind of early cult type thing with a kind of a movement deeper than just price go up, right? Um, and I thought it might have gone up a little bit sooner. This correction has been extending, pretty, 80% here, but I mean 80%, 90% corrections are kind of a rite of passage for any meme coins. It's really what decides whether the coin's going to die or it's going to be a long term, multi-month, multi-cycle coin. You saw SPX, Giga, Mog, all the coins go through this. House is going through its first one here. So yeah, I really like House, USDUC, and I think both of them are going to make a resurgence. What do you think about the abstract ecosystem? I've been playing around on abstract. I think right now there's still limited stuff to do on there, but again, I think it just comes down to Luca and the team. I'm just bullish as fuck on. They've just been done an incredible job executing and marketing wise, and all that. And I'm just wouldn't bet against them on the abstract side. So yeah, I've been fucking around with abstract, been farming, playing some games. I would imagine they expand it more so in the future to have more stuff on there, but I think there is a good shot for abstract to be capture a lot of consumer demand. Elon literally giving free money with the whole Grok thingy. What do you mean by that, brother? You think? Yeah, let me look at C Pewter for you. Yeah, look at C Pewter. So yeah, this one's super new. There's not a lot I'm gonna be able to tell you. This does look pretty corrective here, and I wouldn't be surprised if this continues to rip. I mean, this is kind of sus that the fact that it's just straight green candles. I don't know if that's a bundle or what the deal is, but looks pretty corrective. If it gives you another low, that might be your opportunity to enter. But I would say it looks pretty decent. A lot of volume in here in the last 24 hours. Um, oh, Claude Pewter. Yeah, I actually saw that today where the guy has he's letting the Claude computer just run itself. It's pretty nuts. I actually saw that video right before the stream. So I don't know. Maybe if the Cloud Pewter thing used to do some nutty shit, maybe he fucking hacks into some crazy database or some shit and this coin gets sent. I don't know. I don't know enough. Don't have enough conviction in it, but chart wise, it looks pretty fucking decent. So share your thoughts on, yeah, let's look at hype too. Yeah, hype giving a little bit of a pullback, but I don't know why my computer's lagging out so hard. Hype's given a little bit of a pullback, but it does look pretty corrective. And I mean, if you've been looking to get a position, this might be your opportunity. Pretty nice pullback, almost 20%. I'd imagine we don't get very many corrections like this for hype. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a typical pullback. It'll play out similar to this, but probably not as deep. And I think hype is just a no brainer. It's something that's just going to keep going up. A huge infrastructure in crypto, and as perp trading and just more TradFi volume comes into crypto, looking for yield and ways to trade perps on chain, I think hype is going to be a huge gainer. What's your thoughts on Bonk? Honestly, I have not been fucking around with the launch pads too much to tell you, this one's better for whatever, but just my general understanding, Bonk does have a bit of an advantage or lead right now because of the sentiment around Bonk being a more of a launch pad for the people, which is super valid. I just wouldn't bet against Pump Fund, and I think the correct answer, Marufo, is both. I think both of them are going to do well. I think what I would be doing if I'm like a Pump Fund, like a pump, a pump trader, like I'm trading pump funds, I would be looking at both, right? Be looking for good opportunities on both. Thoughts on Send and Lofi? That's a good question. I think Lofi is going to run. I think there's going to be a meme ecosystem on Sui that's going to be going to thrive. Lofi's already kind of moving up here. I wouldn't be surprised to see Lofi obviously had that huge hack. That's why it came down. But the fact that it just chopped down here, coming out of this correction pretty impulsively, I really like Lofi here and wouldn't be surprised to see it send back to all-time highs in the coming months. So really like Lofi. I don't know too much about Send. That's probably not the right one. It's probably Send on a Sui. I hear you. I assume it's this one, 45 million. What I do like about Send is it has consolidated for 4 months. I would think if it goes above 1.5, which is about 2 or 3x from here, I think at that point that's really like okay, it's cleared the consolidation down here and it probably heads back to all time highs. But you really got to look. I would say essentially the top 2 to 5 runners on a on Sui and all the blockchains would do. I really like Lofi, Send. I would assume would do pretty well as well. How's your day going? Mine's been good. Just touching grind. No, my day's been pretty good so far, bro. It's been great. Right now it is 12. It is noon for me where I'm at. So started my day a couple hours ago. And it's been fucking great, bro. I'm blessed. I mean, this is literally the times we used to pray for. All of us, dude. People who've been here for a few years, and I'm just fucking blessed to be where I'm at, man. No complaints. Stoked to be talking to you and everybody else here. What about you, man? You said you touched some grass while you watch this. That's fire, bro. I always like to listen to podcasts and streams and spaces and shit when I'm out for walking and shit too. So that's fire. Oh, that's not the right send. My bad. I'll pull up the one. Yo, what's up, Valentine? Shout out to you. Yeah, you are one of my top reply guys for sure, both on Instagram and you. Sorry, X. Yeah, shout out to all the reply guys, man. Like that ass, like a lot of the greatest opportunities crypto I've found have been from reply guys in my comments. Like raiding and the strength of raids and how people raid, like that really does matter. So shout out to all you guys. Let's see what's up on the timeline for a bit. I do want to talk about NFTs. Shout out to Bossman. If you guys haven't followed my business partner and friend Bossman, definitely go and check out his profile. Shoot him a follow. Really cooking in the Telegram. Him and I started working together 18, 19 months ago. I think it was November of 2023. So what would that be? 9, 20. I'm tripping. 21 months ago now. I think he had started the group a few months ago. Before that, like at 300 members, I joined up and him and I started working together. And at this, I think now we're at 45K members. I think we obviously hit a great timing. But I think we have what we have, with me on the more education side and talking about, majors and buying and holding and stuff. And then, him on his side on the smaller meme coins and different stuff. It just complemented each other well. Bossman puts out a lot of great snippets of information and stuff he's learned as well. But yeah, definitely check him out. Definitely check out the Telegram. Like I said, I'm super active on Twitter, but the more in-depth thoughts and analysis and different shit will be on the Telegram. I think throughout this time where most people were not doing much or were struggling, I think in the Telegram we had maybe three or five trade ideas that went 5 to 10x plus during this time. So been super consistent in there. Definitely check out Bossman and then our Telegram as well. Let's see who everybody else is fucking in here. Shout out to James. Shout out to Aru. What's up, Monka? What's up, PJ? So much love, bro. What's up, Yapper? Coolio. Shout out to you for fucking sharing the stream, bro. Shot you a follow back. Shout out to Mo. Wow, you guys are going fucking nuts on the comments. I really appreciate it. Great insights. Yeah. He looks ready for a run back. I made the cut. Yeah. After the stream, I'm definitely gonna do a giveaway. I'll announce on Twitter for people in the comments, and then somebody in the chat as well. Yeah, I want to go ahead and talk about base as well. Obviously, base, which you guys saw the last, I think happened 2 days ago, announced a few things. Kind of a newer direction that they're going in. First thing they announced is that base, the layer two, they're changing it to marketing it, the kind of branding to base chain. Calling it, instead of just base, it's now base chain. And for a reason we'll talk about here in a second, but they talked about the base chain is now, instead of 2 seconds per transaction, it is now 0.2 seconds. So they cut the speed of transactions by 90%. And they talked about something they're launching, or I think launched yesterday on a wait list called the Base app, where they're pretty much transforming their current wallet app called the Base Coinbase wallet and combining it with an overall app that has a number of things. It's a wallet. It's a kind of a social media site similar to Twitter and stuff, where it's a new model where every single post or piece of content that you share is tokenized and is a token that people can collect, right? Like just like how you collect fucking digital collectibles or NFTs or cards, or use it as something like Gary Vee, who actually spoke at the thing the other day, talked about how people are going to talk about streaming culture now, how people are tipping. They're tipping $5, $10, $15 or subs so that they could support their favorite creator. Similar stuff's going to happen. Similar things going to happen on these base posts where people are going to be able to collect or buy your post just to support you, which will help monetize and help smaller creators who maybe don't have as big a following actually monetize their content. And I really find it interesting. Somebody like Gary, who, has just been ahead of the game in socials. He saw social media wave and influencers making money on social back 10, 15 years ago, years before it happened. How he's saying tokenized on-chain social media is inevitable, whether Coinbase pulls it off or Twitter or whatever. Interesting to see that. And I do think it's just another example of how tokenization in crypto is just going to become so fucking commonplace over the next few years that people aren't, the technology they're using aren't even going to know it's going to be tokenized. So definitely super fucking cool. I'm really pulling for Coinbase. I'm definitely going to get on the app and use it and see what we can do on there and all that, because I think we're just seeing the future and how the world's going to be tokenized, even social media. So I mean, I want to hear what your guys' thoughts in the chat. What do you guys think about Base? You think it's cool? You think creator coins and tokenized content is going to take off? Or um but yeah, super bullish on Base. I'm super excited to use it, and I think this is just going to potentially onboard a fuck ton of people to crypto. Yeah, we'll talk about NFTs right here too. No way. Much love to everyone, bruh. Yeah, shout out to you, man. Much love, big dog. Is Boss Man Asian, by the way? Been studying his posting. What about his post makes you think that he's Asian? That's funny, bro. You're hilarious. See Brett chart. Yeah, let me look at Brett. Let's go and check on Bitcoin. What the fuck's Bitcoin doing right now? 3 fucking K viewers in this stream. I don't think we've ever had that. Maybe one other time when I announced this big giveaway that I was doing, but shout out to fucking you guys on a Friday on the stream hanging out. I fuck with you guys. Hope everybody's getting sleep, taking care of themselves. Because anybody who's been around for these bull runs, like it gets tough when things pick up. So base is solid. I like the team. They're always working hard. Yeah, base is fucking goated. Is Boss not coming on stream? No, Boss is not on today. Him and I are actually going to start a stream here together, another additional stream. So look out for that. We're going to be doing streams here in the coming weeks and months. Thoughts on Suimon? Rumors of Pokemon. Yeah, I don't know about Suimon. I don't think Suimon's really attached to that Pokemon thing, right? But yeah, no, I think that Sui thing on Pokemon is legit. And I wouldn't be able to tell you if Suimon's going to get a run because of that. I don't know, but chart looks pretty good. Kind of consolidated here for about a month and a half. Didn't break that low and is moving up. So I wouldn't be surprised if this sends. Other than that, I don't really have a strong opinion. He's a British drum and bass head. Number one skill a trader should acquire. Great question. I'll give you a couple. I'll give you a couple. I think most people's problem, what I've learned is most people's problem, quote unquote problem, or most people's dilemma or issue that they deal with is not that they aren't smart enough, right? It's not that they aren't smart enough or quick enough or that they don't have some crazy system. It's that actually most people's problem in trading and what's holding them back, I believe, is that they do too much. They overthink themselves out of opportunities. They make a big deal out of small things. For example, everything that was happening on with the tariff thing recently, I heard a number of people are saying, "How's Bitcoin going to go up when the tariff against China or tariff against this country is 8%?" And it's just like, yes, those things valid, but none of that stuff's going to actually matter. Right at the end of the day, people make too big of deals out of small things, and the number to answer your question, the few things that I think every trader should acquire and kind of just most people acquire over time with time in the game is patience. Number one, being able to, you have to be able to buy and hold. I'm telling you, it's a fucking marketing gimmick. The whole, oh yeah, you have to be trading in and out of coins, the daily runner narrative and all that, like that's fun, all fun and games. It's another form of gambling, but if you're actually trying to make it and develop like real wealth and actually make money in crypto, you have to learn how to buy and hold assets. And it's tough with meme coins because most of them, even the good ones, went down 70 or 80%. But you have to learn patience and being able to buy and hold and be good with your thesis not playing out for weeks or months. Um, Patience. Number two is be able to again form theses deeper than just buy whether price is going up or not. And then just profit taking. Most people just don't take profits properly. Just profit taking, taking profits on the way up. What are the worst case and best case scenarios for Bitcoin? I mean, obviously, worst case is that shit tops out and goes down fucking 80% from here. Do I think that's likely? No. I would say best case for ETH is that it just keeps going up and hits 150K plus to end the month. Worst case is fucking it pulls back for a bit and whatever, but I don't know. I think the writing's on the wall. I think it's just a no fucking brainer to be bullish on crypto right now. I just don't get the mere case at all right now. Yeah, like Bonk Pay, I seen at 50K last week, sold it at 200 and tapped 1.6. Yes, exactly. If you just took partials on that and still left a moonbag, you'd be good. That tariff BS is a distraction. Notice how it was ramped up when Bitcoin needed. Yeah, man. It's almost as if the institutions who were needing to load up on Bitcoin, ETH, and Sol before a huge, massive bull run got a perfect opportunity. Who knows? Is the world rigged? Is it all a coincidence? Who fucking knows? Either way, the people who bought the dip are up fucking massive. Shout out to you, Crypto King. Thank you for being on, man. Worst case scenario for Bitcoin, Satoshi is alive and dumps his entire wallet. Yeah, but I mean, just like you guys have seen, man, there's these coins. Satoshi, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, owns about 1% of Bitcoin, maybe between 1 and 2%. Guys, I mean, we see people all the time dump 2, 3, 5% of a meme coin and that shit recovers the next day. Obviously, it would probably create a massive dump, 50, 60% candle on Bitcoin. But I think that would be end up being a very bullish catalyst and would get eaten up very quickly. I think all the institutions in the world would eat up that fucking Satoshi dump so quickly that it wouldn't even matter. Obviously, that would not be fun, and whatever. But even if Satoshi dumped his coins, I think we'd be just fine. That ass. Like, Bros thinks Bossman is Asian because he had an account in some Chinese. Like, oh yeah, no, I think he was just writing tweets in Chinese, like just to get stuff out to all our Chinese people. What's your prediction for Solana this month? This month, I don't know. I think it goes to 200 plus, brother. 3.1K, let's go. Yeah, for sure. Fuck. Appreciate all the great questions today, Zilla. While we look at NFTs, I pull up Magic Eden. I want to hear where you guys are at in the world. I know we got a lot of people in the US, we got a lot of people in Nigeria, we got a lot of Indonesians, we got a lot of people from Europe, we got a lot of people from everywhere, but I want to hear where you guys are at. What time is it out in the world? What time are best for streams for you? Do you usually watch streams during the day, night, morning? I want to hear from you guys. Nah, bro, just decided to do that with his alt at some point, yeah. But yeah, let's look at NFTs. PA, okay. I see NFT triggered ATL. Oh, is this my boy? My boy from Instagram? Let me know. NFT triggered. Is this sorry. This is what you need to know about AI. Fuck, sorry guys, I'm not trying to play this. Why is the home button not working? Nigeria, Igloo crazy. Brent, how to fire like that frog PFP. If you're talking about the MOG ACC, like the MOG AC filter, I can try to do that. Alon broke silence. Did he just tweet? CTOs are lifeblood of Pump Fund. They form most of the success cases on the platform, but one major pain point is that these CTOs don't have any funding, especially when the dev is abandoned. The community has continued to earn fees. That seriously hurts sentiment and damages. Now it's possible for any community to maximize their odds of success by redirecting creator fees to the wallet of the most dedicated contributors. Wow. Those that raid hard every day create content. This change also allows us to upgrade the current fee structure in the future. Our ultimate goal is to bring much higher quality teams to the trenches and ensure that they provide value to their communities. So incentivizing them with much higher creator fees is table stakes. Okay. Oh, that's cool. So they're doing a little bit of a change to the fee structure so that teams can give creator fees to people who they believe are really contributing. I think that's cool. I think this, again, I don't know what Pump Price is doing right now. Hopefully it'll let me fucking pull it up on TradingView now. Yes, okay, good. Okay, yeah, of course price ain't doing shit. Yeah, I think yeah, no, I didn't have the chart up. I think this is just more proof that Alon is making strides to do cool shit, and I think they're gonna. I mean, if you've seen, I saw the interview with him and a few people, and I mean, I think the guy has a strong head on his shoulders, and I think he really has a vision of turning Pump Fund into something much bigger than just a meme coin launchpad. Which, I mean, a meme coin launchpad in itself is already making them hundreds of millions of dollars. But I don't know. I'm just bullish on the team, man. Just crypt copy. Okay, you're getting banned. Just so you guys know, if you see anybody talk about just copy trade him, you'll make profits. This or in any Telegram, my Telegram, it's fake. They're just trying to get you to like connect your wallet to some copy trader or some shit. So definitely avoid any of that. I'm gonna go ahead and hide, reply, and block. I'm having network issue. Okay, shout out to you. Hey, shout out to everybody who is liking and sharing and retweeting. Anybody, I'll go ahead and shoot you a follow back. Means a lot. Helps out a lot for the stream. Wow. Wow. 3,200. Shout out to Hey. Shout out to Regrar. Blockchain gaming. Yes, I am bullish on blockchain gaming. Let's go look at NFTs though, guys. I want to shoot you guys I want to know like what's your thoughts on NFTs. Like for me, I want to go ahead and share my thoughts. But like, have you guys been buying NFTs? Where did you guys get your start in NFTs, meme coins? Are you bullish on NFTs now? What do you think? Do you think NFTs are the future of digital collectibles? I want to know what your guys' thoughts just overall like on NFTs in 2025. Live in Spain in around 2 years in crypto now. Lost a bunch learning my anyway, but I'm pushing on and learning. Fucking shout out to you, Scripto King. I hope I'm saying that right, but dude, that's what it's all about, man. Different strokes for fucking different folks. Everybody's journey is different. Some people make it in 3, 5, 6 months, but I would say some people make it in 5 years. Everybody has a different journey, but I would say the people who have time in the game, 2, 3, 5 years, um, just give yourself time to really learn, because even if you make $100,000, $1 million in the first year, it's going to be very hard to keep it if you don't develop a skill set of profit taking, risk management, knowing what's you know good things to look at and things to buy and all that good shit. So shout out to you, though, Crypto. 2:30 a.m. Never fell asleep. Everyone is literally heading to use content creation now in crypto. Yeah, I still think content creation and streams and stuff are pretty fucking wide open. There's not too many people doing streams. I mean, shout out the Thread guy, man. For those of you guys haven't watched his streams, man, I think this guy is super high energy and really good for the space. And like, the interactions I've had with him are great. And I think he's just a great energy. But like, I'm super bullish and love his streams lately for the same reason that I love Bankless podcast. The Ryan and David on Bankless podcasts are great. I think they're fucking cool guys. I think they're good for the space overall. But the reason why I love the Bankless podcast, and the reason why it's been probably like the most influential, like valuable, like anything I've consumed in crypto, is because week after week they continue to have the smartest, most interesting people on in the space. And I have just learned an incredible amount, like probably more from their streams, from having all these different experts on to talk for 2-3 hours, than I have anywhere else. And I think Thread Guy is doing another version of that right now, where he's not only bringing people on in Ethereum and everywhere else, but people from all over. So I think it's fucking great. Definitely check out his streams. And I've been learning a lot from all these different kind of guests. And yeah, I'm super bullish on there's some good people still doing streams, but I think we're going to see a big uptick in people creating content around crypto. I don't think there's an airdrop anymore. I think there will be an airdrop. My friend's crashing out because they want airdrop. Yeah. I would tell your friends probably don't expect a huge airdrop anyway. But I think just buying and holding a pump, I think, is going to end up working out. Kaido. Yeah, I know Kaido. Yeah, I really like. I did some of the stuff originally, but I just really need to look into it and how to do it effectively. I know a lot of people are doing really well on Kaido. It's just not something I've put a lot of time towards, but I probably should. Hoba NFT, buy one and get. Yeah, we need to get to NFTs. I'm sorry. Our low rated NFT is good to have. NFTs will be our identity. Low rated NFTs, you mean cheaper ones? We'll go over. I'm gonna go over right now some like lower price NFTs that I think are gonna do well, different sectors, etc. He said, "Yeah, I think NFT market will be bullish again the days ahead." Yeah, I agree. It's a good stream, man. You got some juice. Hey, shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you, Profit Sizer. That means Caesar, whatever. That means fucking a lot, brother. Honestly, I love NFTs since day one. Never had one, but planning on it. Yes. NFTs are going to do well. Here from Mexico, my English isn't that good, but I've been learning some shit. Fuck yeah, man. No, your English is great. If you want proper breakdown on Kaido, yeah, send me always down to here to learn some shit. So shoot me a DM. Love the stream, dude. I learned so much from you. Thank you, Toji. But yeah, NFTs. So for me, you hear me a lot on my posts and tweets talk about the digital asset super cycle a lot. You'll hear Murad talk about the meme coin super cycle. You hear people like Kaleo and just talk about the super cycle, and I'm 100% on board with them. But I think it's going to be a digital asset super cycle. Meaning, I don't know why I just unshared my screen. Hold on. Meaning that digital assets of all types are going to have an exciting time again. A period of real growth in prices and kind of a speculative cycle based on the regulatory clarity and all that stuff happening around the assets, right? So I am a strong believer that we are going to get a second NFT bull run that is going to make the first one look like a joke or look small. And I know that sounds crazy. Like I hear everybody talking about NFTs, like even people who are like the most core members in like Pudgy Penguins. And this isn't the shit on anybody, but like it's just crazy to see everybody. 90% of people's thoughts on NFTs when you ask them is, I think NFTs, the good NFTs are going to go up, but it's never going to be like 2021 again. And I just push against that idea. I remember again, I've been fucking around with crypto since 2016. My first bull run was the 2016, 2017 bull run. In 2018, I remember everybody said the same shit about Bitcoin. It was, oh, Bitcoin is tulips. It might go up over time, but it's never going back to 20K again. And it's especially not going back to 20K anytime soon. And what did we see? Not only did 6 months later, Bitcoin went to all-time highs, but the richest man in the world was shilling it and meme coins. Everybody was trading crypto. And again, 6 months before, nobody thought that shit was going to happen. I think the same thing happens here with NFTs. I'm not going to go ahead and say it's going to be, I do think it's in every aspect. I think it's going to be just as active. I think even the new mints, all that stuff is going to go crazy again, because that's just how these cycles go. I mean, I think NFTs, the technology itself is going to be so transformational. I think we're going to see RWAs, digital collectibles, all of these things being built on NFT technology, which is going to make the original IPs, the original 2021 projects and these other NFTs very valuable in the process, right? So I do think we get another second NFT bull run. I think it's going to be stronger than the first. I think it's going to happen at the same time as the crypto bull run, which is nuts. And I think a lot of these people aren't pricing these in, which is making stuff like VeeFriends, Azuki at these very, very low prices compared to where I think these things are going to be at. So I'm a very big believer in NFT. Second NFT bull run. We could be a couple months off. For all I know, we're 6 months off, but I don't give a fuck. I'm just accumulating for that eventual run. And I think, I think it's going to go crazy. I think really what I think is going to be the center and what's going to drive NFTs is a few things. I think the top, it's going to be generally in 3 or 4 categories. Number one is those 2021 IPs. By IPs, I mean the Bored Apes, VeeFriends is my biggest bet. The Pudgies, Azuki, the ones that are actually building IPs around the NFTs. I think those are going to do well. The top ones. I think meme coin NFTs are going to do incredibly well. Just the convergence of those two worlds. And I think obviously art and CryptoPunks along with ordinals will probably do very well. So yeah, I think there's going to be a second NFT bull run. I've been accumulating VeeFriends, which to me is just to where it's currently at with the operator and Gary V, which is just I think it's just the most capable operator up there with Luca in the entire space, with the most real life business acumen, connections with all the people in the world, and this IP, how 200 something different characters of all these different traits that I think is going to have a huge impact on the youth and just the world in general. My big bet is VeeFriends. I think somebody was asking about quote unquote lower end NFTs, like meaning like lower price. I think stuff like VeeFriends Series 2, which is their second collection, is an incredible place right now, under a few $100s, right? It's at $241 for the floor. I think these things are going to thousands of dollars. And yeah, I think they're eventually going to do a coin and a lot of these other things that other coin projects haven't. They've taken a different approach and they've really done a really good job of building in the real world. VeeFriends just recently had a collab or a drop with Topps Chrome. For anybody who knows anything about sports cards or cards in general, Topps and Topps Chrome is just one of the biggest, is just huge in the sports, in the card world. The only other IPs that have gotten the Topps Chrome release are the Disney's Marvels, what's it called? SpongeBob is about to do one. VeeFriends is like one of the 10, like less than 10 that have ever had a Topps Chrome release. So they're doing a huge thing in the real world, and I think eventually, as NFT and crypto demand starts to increase, we're going to start to see them engage more in the crypto world as well. I think they're going to have a coin in that kind of social currency realm that I was talking about earlier. And overall, man, I'm just extremely bullish on Gary and VeeFriends, and I think they're going to be up there with the Pudgies and Punks and Apes, and completely understandably so. Why most people, that's like outlandish to some people right now. But again, in the long term, the only thing that matters with these NFTs are the operator behind them and their ability to make people give a fuck about the characters in the NFTs. And I think I think Gary's going to make it happen. And but yeah, I'm bullish on the Pudgies, Apes, all these things, man. I think a win. Let's say Pudgies gets an ETF next month. That's a huge win for all of us in the NFT industry, right? So yeah, and then another sleeper kind of sector is going to be crypto gaming. There's not a lot out at all as far as crypto gaming assets, but whenever that happens, I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity in the crypto gaming NFT kind of realm as well. So would love that too. If your NFT ain't Bitcoin on ETH, and forget about it. Solana's NFTs and other chains never really cook. They haven't so far, but I think in these bull runs, NFTs of all on all chains are going to do all the main ones. NFTs will be new movie stars, no more typical Hollywood. Last cycle, I have NFT in this cycle, never bought. Okay. I love what Monad are doing with NFTs in their testnet phase. Bullish. Yeah, I don't know a lot about Monad as far as like NFTs go, but that's sick. Pump dumped on that tweet. Insane. Yeah. Again, I think it's a lot of it has to do with just Bitcoin and ETH. It's just correcting right now. These big announcements very rarely are they gonna cause a pump. So yeah, no way, SpongeBob. GameFi on crypto never really goes cools too. Yeah. Oh fuck, man! I've been talking for an hour and 47 seconds straight, but 3,400 views or whatever the fuck has to be a record on here. So again, I fucking love all you guys. I really hope everyone is in good spirits right now. You should be. Even if I don't give a fuck if you lost everything this year and you have $50 left to your name, the opportunity, um, the opportunities that are going to come in the next couple of years for the people who just like deploy basic principles of profit taking and risk management, all that. Like, there's so much fucking opportunity. You could lose your account 3 times over the next couple of months, and I don't advise doing that. But my whole point is, I'm just trying to get across to you that like there's so much opportunity ahead if you just can and just learn these basic principles that I'm talking about, and just learn to buy and hold good assets and just be patient. The amount of wealth and just opportunity that crypto is going to provide over the next couple months is just going to be once in a lifetime. And over the next few years, really, it's like, don't think you have to make it in the next few months. It's a long road ahead, I think, with crypto. Love this stream. Shout out to Rojam, always showing love. Opportunities are limitless. What the fuck is Bitcoin doing right now? Damn, pump is still dumping. I'm definitely gonna keep adding. Bitcoin down a bit, ETH down a bit, Sol coming down a bit. Gonna probably complete this last low I was talking about, and then I expect ETH, Sol, Bitcoin probably run it back early next week, if I had to guess. What are y'all asking Grok? Oh, that's not on the stream. What's going on the timeline? Market me. 1 second. My bad. Love it. Very informative. Show me ECA. I ain't got no ECAs for you, brother. Best advice for newbies. My best advice for newbies is it's a long journey. Give yourself time. Focus the next few years on learning skills, whether it be charts, uh, what's it called? Just a number of things. Perps, like being good on an on-chain person, but really adopting the mindset of buying and holding instead of trying to play the pump fund lottery only and trying to play small coins and stuff like that. There's a place for that, but buying and holding, becoming a great profit taker by setting up a profit taking system, which you can go and watch the stream back earlier on if you want to hear more about that. And then just being patient, brother, just learning patience and just learning that this is a long journey and that almost everybody that I know who has built real wealth and made millions of dollars in crypto didn't do it overnight. It takes a couple years, but just know that we're about to enter a very fun time in crypto that, you know, just give yourself time. That's the number one thing. Convictions hurt. Yeah, man. I would just, any of these new launches with Pump or any of these, it's like you just want to play it slowly and just know that they can bleed out a bit. I think Pump is a good one where it's only down 30-40%. It's not down 80 or 90 or anything, but I'd expect this kind of correction to be short-lived if I had to guess. Do I hold OK Bears? No, I don't hold any OK Bears. Another entry to the meme coin or NFT game, I think, is Wonky Stonks, like I was telling you guys about. Some nice consolidation for almost whatever the fuck this was. 2 years now. I think Wonky Stonks goes to an ETH during this bull run, and it's at 0.07 right now. So do with that as what you will. What's happening with Pump? How long to hold? I'm buying and holding, bro, on the way down. I don't have any long open anymore. I got stopped out at break even on my long, so I'm just adding slowly on the way down with the understanding that I might come down for a bit longer. I don't use Padre or Axiom, to be honest with you, bro. I've heard good things about both, though. Shout out to you, Taj. What's going on the timeline, though? The next 6 months will be life changing.
Understand. The next 5 to 6 months are going to be life changing for many in crypto. The next time something like this will happen will probably be 2029, 2030. Your only job is to hold the right coins. All right, here's what you need to.
Man, I 100% agree. I don't know about you guys, but 100% agree. Excuse me. But yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, ETH is looking very similar to what it did in pretty much the same pattern, which is crazy, as 2017. Trump just signed the Genius Act. That's bullish.
Chair Gary Gensler, we fired him. But I remember I was making a speech, and it was just a line in a speech. And I said, and I will fire Gary Gensler. The place exploded. I said, I finished Act One, and I said, what the hell did that guy do? There was a lot of hatred there, I'll tell you. And it turned out, as I got familiar with everything, it turned out you were absolutely right. In his place, I appointed a visionary chairman who wants a
South of 100 ETH, I think you got to hold it in penguins. I think you're fiscally irresponsible if you don't, because the data tells me that it outperforms stake ETH every year since I've been at the helm, and that's a very easy benchmark to beat. I say 100 ETH because, like, when you have, NFTs are illiquid, going in and going out relatively. So if you have more than like 15 penguins, it's harder to get in and out of them. It's not like just clicking a button on a trade, right? You got to, play a little bit of a game. But I think if you're bullish Ethereum and you're playing with south of 100 ETH and you're just trying to net long ETH, Pudgy Penguins will outperform it every day of the week. I mean, don't even take my word for it. The data's insane behind that statement. If you actually look at the returns, it's 100% year over year, right? If you factor in the airdrops, if you factor it.
See, that's why I'm so fucking bullish on Luca, man. He's just a visionary, and he talks these big things that I think he really believes, and I think a lot of it is fucking possible, and it's probably going to happen. What do you guys think? Pudgy's to 100 ETH or what? A Bitcoin royal just sold all of the 80,000 Bitcoin for $9.6 billion. Wow. I'll probably hang out here for another five-ish minutes with you guys. What are you guys up to today? Transmission of the system. This whole Trump DG thing, brother, I wouldn't pay too much attention to it. I feel like it's just fake narratives. Like, why would the Trump administration, why would World Liberty Fi endorse another token? And if they did, like, one that's called Deej, like, so close to Doge, I feel like it. And now I'm seeing that another, like, people making TikToks talking about this other coin, like Moon Doge, doing the same thing. So I don't know. I don't think there's much to it. I don't know. But I mean, D's just going up, right? We can look at it. I have some of it, but I mean, it looks nice chart wise. I think it probably keeps going up, but I don't know. I don't know if it's really like any connected to the Trumps at all. Pudgies are the new BAYC. Yeah, no, Pudgies and apes are going to continue to. $9.6 billion is crazy. It's almost a nice day over there. Oh, for me, somebody who asked, it's almost one. But yeah, that is a weird chart. I do think Deej probably keeps going up, but as far as it being like attached to the Trumps, I don't think so. But have I checked out the Epstein list meme? No, I haven't, bro. But yeah, we've been on here for 2 hours. I gotta hit the gym here soon. But this was fucking great. This is probably like the most lit stream we've had. maybe ever. So fuck with you guys again. Shout out to you guys for being here on a Friday, hanging out. I will be back on. I'm gonna probably hop on another stream on Tuesday at 1 p.m. PST, a little bit later. But yeah, gonna keep doing these streams at the face cam soon. Gonna have guests, interviewing and hearing some hearing the story of a lot of people in crypto. I think there's a lot of stories and cool people that are, you know, that people need to hear their stories. So I'm gonna do a lot of that. Face cam, cool guests. Any suggestions you have for the stream, shoot me a DM. Any people you think we should have on, anything like that. But overall, man, I'm just super fucking pumped, super excited for the next several years. I think the most important thing to focus on with the regulatory clarity and all that, it's like whatever cliche, like hoorah, like whatever, but it's going to allow this industry to be around 10, 20, 25 years from now and allow us, the people who are long-term people in the space, like to be able to build wealth and build like a following and all this, whatever, like build a career in this space for decades and years to come. Because I mean, I don't know about you guys, I love this shit. I mean, when I started 5-6 years ago, I mean, I only dreamed that crypto would be in the place where I'm at, where I'm able to have whatever small platform I do have to talk and do streams and do all this amazing things. Like, I don't know, like when I started doing this in 2021 years old, I was just like a fucking a lost kid. And like, just know if you're out there and just getting, or you're young, you're old, whatever, like crypto and market speculation can change your life if you really if you put in the time and give yourself time first and foremost. So shout out to every one of you guys. Thank you so much for the support and hanging out with me on the streams. Make sure to like, comment, retweet on the stream. It helps a lot. Turn on post notifications. Shoot me a DM. Love to chop it up with you guys. And yeah, we're just getting started. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. See you guys on Tuesday. And check out the Boss Man Calls Telegram channel. And check out my producer / friend, Can't Stop Me Now. That helps me a lot with his streams at Can't Stop Me Now on Twitter. He'll have a lot of AI content, a lot of cool stuff come from him too. So either way, appreciate you guys. Hope you have a great rest of your day and be safe. And see you soon.